Welcome to the podcast where relationships, confidence, and determination all converge into an amazing, heartfelt experience. This is Speaking from the Heart.
Welcome back to episode number 181 of Speaking from the Heart and the final episode of 2024. I can't believe that we are ending this year on a high note, especially for not only myself, but I hope for you as you've gotten through Christmas that you're entering New Year's Day, tomorrow for that matter, getting ready to not only start a new year, but also have some optimism, knowing that the brand new you that you've been waiting for is on the other side. Or is it? Have you found your passion? Are you ready to get started in the new year? Do you need a last-minute pep talk to show you that this year that is coming up has so much to bring to you and to others? What is holding you back from being the best version of yourself this coming year? What has happened in years past? What is it that is going to help you move forward? Today's episode is definitely for you, and we're going to talk about all those things building on episode number 179 and getting you in the right direction. Now, if you haven't listened to episode 179, in which I talked about how your mood shouldn't be shifted, especially amongst this type of year that we've had, I encourage you to go back and listen to that one first and then come back to this episode. But I have to say that when we are thinking about the mood, which we have now turned around, we can now say that these are the goals that we want to do. These are the things that we want to achieve. We are super excited for what's ahead. Right? Right? Oh no. But sometimes some people are skeptical about what they can really achieve even after they shift that mindset. It's almost like a confidence factor is still not there despite all the things that have been worked on to now be able to say that the brand new you that's inside is ready to march forward. But holding on to the past is really what I want to focus on today because sometimes we do have those reservations. We do have those concerns, even if we do change our mindset and know that it's going to be okay from a positive angle. Now, I have to caveat this episode by even saying that this has been a really tough year for me, personally, in 2024. And I have heard that even for many people, even in surveys that I have read, that almost half of the United States, that's almost 50%, have even indicated that this has been a tough year for them. Whether it has been from a financial side, a political side, a cultural side, a societal aspect that might have occurred. Maybe it was with family. There's a variety of different reasons. Maybe you've been even let go of from a job. And I'm so sorry if that does affect you and you have been trying to get back on your feet, especially during this holiday season. But I promise you that if you want to really achieve greatness, if you really want to get started on this path towards success, today is the day that it starts. I know that with past advice that I've given, and even some of the things that we have been through on this show, there have been many examples of people going 180 episodes back that we can look at as prime examples, people that we can aspire to. Those are the people that will help us to shift our mood, to let us know that it's okay to feel the way that we do, but to also know that we can keep pushing forward, that we know that best version of ourselves can be on that other side of the fence that we have to climb. But this opportunity, this great advice that I have to give to you today is really going to change you. It's going to radicalize you in a way in which you have never thought New Year's is possible. I'm even talking about some of the episodes that I've done all the way around this time last year in 2023, in which I talked about how you can start to leave the excuses behind and start writing down goals. What is it on that sheet of paper that you want to do? And if you even want to stop the episode here at this point and go back to last year's set of episodes, around the month of December, in which I talked about this will be the time to do it. But you don't want, more than anything else, to hold yourself back from the ultimate advice that I have with you today. The brand new you that's awaiting is already here, and I'm already talking to you that person that is that brand new you. Now, you might be scratching your head a little bit and going, Josh, here you go again. Another wacky idea from you. I'm going to already cancel the episode out. But before you hit the stop button and you close out completely, or if you are stopping the episode so that you can go back to those other episodes, hear me out. You have already crossed this threshold. You are really at the point now that you can do anything that you ever wanted to because now you have lived those experiences. You have been through the muckiness, the shit that you've had to drag, and you had to get to where you are today. You have conquered fear itself. So for all those reasons, I congratulate you. I give you a round of applause. And I really earnestly mean that. Some people don't stop to smell the flowers of what they've been able to do because sometimes they think those flowers smell like shit. And I understand why you feel that way. Sometimes when we are thinking that we have done so much and we have moved that needle forward, if we have been able to get really positive about our lives and super excited about it, that even then, it still smells murky. It smells like we are in this disgusting sewage. We also are trying to get out of that sewage because it's stuck to us. It's almost like quicksand, and we're trying to brush it off. But if you really boil it down to it, you are the brand new you. Finding that passion to be able to start over again has already existed. It's already been dormant inside of you. I think that for many of us, we are often hidden from those opportunities to show that great compassion about ourselves, to see that we have what it takes, to be able to renew our conviction to keep on moving forward, to keep on achieving the dreams that we have been manifesting. Just this past Saturday after this recording, I had been working on a workshop that I've done multiple times this year, not only with my clients, but also with a bigger audience as it relates to building your narrative vision, your future that you can envision, that you know that you can ultimately achieve. Today it starts. Whatever the goals you set, whether you want to use the SMART methodology or any other methodology that is out there, which there are multiple aspects to choose from, regardless of what you have, if you've been able to write that story, what it looks like to actually live in your goals and to visualize them, be able to make that story come alive for you, I give you kudos because not many people are willing to take those concrete steps, actually set time aside in their day, and actually marvel at what they've been able to do. Sometimes it's hard for me, your podcast host, to even do that. And I had to really sit back, especially in the last few days, to think about what I've been able to achieve, which one of the biggest things which I'm successfully have done, and I got it done right before the end of this year, is graduate myself from therapy. So that's right. After almost 5 years, I'm so excited about sharing my vision, my journey that I've been on in therapy, and knowing that I have this future that now I don't have to go every single week, see a therapist, tell my shit to them, and then get some helpful advice, go about my week again, get beaten up, and then have to go back in. You have no idea, ladies and gentlemen, how much that makes me feel. It has a freeing effect. It's almost like I get my time back. But yet, at what cost? Sometimes going through change, trying to address fear in itself, is a fucking scary thing. And I know that. I have lived that this past year with the things that I've had to adjust to personally, but also having to realize that I have so much more to learn. I have so much more to grow when it comes to my business that I didn't even calculate it when I originally was setting out for my journey that I had with Your Speaking Voice, what I had set out for my podcast, Speaking from the Heart, but more importantly, all the other things that administratively, financially, and even relationship-wise, I had to set out to do. It's a very tough situation that even then, I don't know if sometimes I have what it takes to even see this brand new you that I'm trying to figure out even for myself that has arisen from the shadows to get to where I am now. I don't know if that's really possible. But I believe that we all have it, myself included. past advice, renewed conviction, things that we have left on the table in 2024 that have been excuses that we should have never even used in the first place, are just some of the underlining tones that we can start with, that we could start to say to ourselves, this is no longer going to be the version of myself. It's hard work. It means that you have to even dig deeper than you have ever dug before. And I get that. That's some messy stuff. That is literally shit that you have to unleash from your life and that it never comes back ever again. But I promise you, when you do that, when you realize that the past version of yourself is no longer in control, the brand new you will be there awaiting you, greeting you at the door that you're going to walk through. For several episodes now, I've talked about what it has meant for me to go on this journey, what it has meant for me to get to this point. And I think for you, my listeners, you've been on this journey with me, which for those that have been faithful all along, thank you so much for making 2024 such an awesome year for me to see what it is that I can do. But with only a handful of listeners only listening to my advice, it makes me sad that more people could be listening to this, changing their attitudes, being able to affect themselves in more positive ways. In this world in which is surrounded by negativity and sometimes energy that we don't want to spend time in, why listen to another bullshitter like Joshua Smith, your podcast host, talking about things that maybe he has never done? He's a fake. He's a loser. I have heard it all, and it's okay if you feel that way, even as you listen to this, my sworn enemy, if you will. But this isn't about a conversation of why I think nobody wants to listen to my podcast. It's about a conversation of what I need to do differently. What is it that I need to change today that I know I have the skills in doing so that I'm able to move forward to become that brand new me? And friends, that's exactly what I'm asking you to do. Put aside what it is that you've been doing wrong. Think about what is it that you can do that you haven't been focused on. Maybe you already have the answer deep inside of yourself that will change that perspective, that will help you to keep moving forward, to help others keep moving forward, to help your colleagues keep moving forward. But more importantly, as I've mentioned in many other places, you can be the lighthouse, the light that shines for other ships, to guide them where they need to be guided to. It's no secret that this year, amongst other years, can be very tough for many people. Whether you are trying to overcome some death that has happened this year in your family, a job loss, or even yourself for that matter, in which you have been on some rocky roads and you just need a break. You are here because you want to see that brand new version of yourself. There is an inkling inside of you that says that you want this more than anything. And I'm shouting from the mountaintops that you can do this. I can do this. We can do this. And all it takes is for you to see that regardless of what has happened, whether it's in this year or other years that you're referencing back towards, you are ready to take on what it is that 2025 brings. I know that in this world, in this life that we live, it can be very tough. It can be even challenging. And even as you hear me say these words and shout them, you might still be asking yourself, what is it that I can actually do to make this happen? I don't have these resources. I don't have this or that you have, Josh. How can you tell me to do something that I don't even have the possibility to do? I have been blessed this year to talk to a number of guests, even more than I had my first year of this podcast, that would tell you that you can have absolutely nothing in this world, nothing at all in terms of worldly possessions, and still take everything that you have inside yourself and change for the better. One of my guests, Bonnie Hardy, which was from many episodes ago, shared her awesome story of what it means to be a coach, even when she is homeless. Now, if you have felt at any sense, at any moment, of what it means to be homeless, which I have been fortunate enough to not be, but have come close enough to feel like I have lost it all and I would be living on the streets, you start to appreciate the world a bit differently. And Bonnie is somebody that, even to this day, all these months ago in which that episode was recorded and then aired on this podcast, has been an inspiration for me to work on becoming that brand new me. It doesn't take much to change our mindsets, especially from positive to negative. But instead of looking at it from that one-way angle, why can't we look at it from a negative to positive difference? Why can't we look at it from a negative to positive transformation? Our advice, the things that we've been giving, whether that is from childhood or even from contemporary times, the place that we live in right now, what if we're able to speak to ourselves, to share what it means to know that we have this manifestation deep inside of ourselves and it's just waiting to be unleashed? I've had many people on the show, especially as of late, that have talked about this. And in 2025, even more guests are going to dig deep into what this looks like. But at this moment, at this time, I want you to know that when you hit the stop button, once you reach the end of this episode, or if it moves on to another podcast, I'll still be here thinking of you, thinking of how great it would be to see this brand new version of you unleashed to the world in 2025, accomplishing your goals, testing the limits, seeing what your voice can do with your relationships, confidence, and determination that you've been building on this show. And oh yes, even reaching out to me, working with me in the new year, helping you to dig even deeper than you ever thought possible. I don't know where you might be as you listen to this, even now, today, as this airs, or in the future. But I do know one thing. I know that you took an interest in listening to this. And if you made it all the way through, that tells me that brand new you is right there on the precipice, being able to step into that uncomfortableness, that fear that you might be facing, but yet doing it, knowing that you have what it takes. And I'm rooting for you, not only in 2024 as we wrap it up, but in 2025 as well. Finally, I want to say thank you to all my listeners, all of you that have made me a brand new me in this year, and I look forward to serving you in the new year with Speaking from the Heart. Thanks for listening to episode number 181 of Speaking from the Heart, and I look forward to hearing from your heart in the new year very soon.
Thanks for listening. For more information about our podcast and future shows, search for Speaking from the Heart to subscribe and be notified wherever you listen to your podcasts. Visit us at www.yourspeakingvoice.biz for more information about potential services that can help you create the best version of yourself. See you next time.